Hi, everybody. I want to go over how to fill out the Selecting Sources and Comparing Perspectives assignment in English 102. So at this point, you have found two articles from the SIRS database that will show differing perspectives on your debatable topic. What you're going to be doing in this assignment is to compare the two articles to see various points that they both discuss that you can then use in your comparative research essay. So you're basically going to fill in this worksheet. For step one, it has space for you to put the two articles that you found. So you're going to put the title and the link to the articles here. You're going to put the authors here and the year of publication. And that way I can also check those sources if I haven't pre-approved them. Step two is to compare your articles using this comparative grid. And there's first a sample to show you how that works. So on the left side are places where you can put questions or points of comparison, something that both articles talk about. Obviously, you want points or questions that the articles kind of have differing perspectives on. Across the top, you'll see there's a column for source one, and that should correspond to this step one, and source two. So make sure you put them in the right column. And it would be nice if you would label them as you see in the sample so that it's easy for me to remember which source you're using. All right, so you are going to create your three questions. And again, what you want to do is not really look at the overall issue, but you want to drill down a little bit and look at specific points. So for example, if the debatable issue is whether binge watching is good, then some of the questions you might have, first of all, might be what is binge watching? Um, and how is it harmful? And how is it acceptable? So those would be some questions that you could use. Now you could come up with other points as well. But I want to point out that you're not just showing what the author's perspective is on the overall issue. We need to get more specific than that. So for this first question, what is binge watching? I'm going to go in each of those sources and just look for that definition. And then in these boxes, you're going to give a paraphrase or a brief quote that shows what the article says about that question. Please make sure that you put the citation where you got it, whether or not you're paraphrasing or quoting, just so that you know where it is in the article. So here's what Cohen says about what binge watching is, and here is what the Cleveland Clinic says about what that term means. Here for how is it harmful, this is what Cohen says, and then this is what the other article says. Now, if one of your articles is saying it's really harmful and one's saying it's not, one obviously is going to be saying a lot more about how it's harmful. But any article should really be addressing both sides, so you probably will find different ideas. And the point is, whatever question you use, you do have to find information from both articles that address it. And then here's the third question, why is it acceptable? Again, some information from both of those articles. So you can use the sample as a model for how to put that information in there. All right, so here is where you fill out that information. So there's space for you to write three questions, and there's space for you to give the information from both source one and source two. And please make sure you do identify each of those so I'm quite sure which article is which. All right, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know.